Hey guys, welcome back to Pro Gun. If you haven't already done so, please hit the subscribe button. I'd greatly appreciate that. I get asked more and more lately if you should have a red dot on your everyday carry. Now, if I would have been asked this question a year or two ago, I would have said no. I'm an old school guy and I just like iron sights. Now, all these firearms are unloaded, by the way, okay? I just believe that iron sights is the way to go. However, after using a red dot for the past year, I gotta say, I like it a lot. And it should be used in conjunction with your sights. In other words, you should be able to co-witness your sights with your red dot. In the event that the red dot does fail, you better know how to shoot using iron sights. Now, there is a learning curve. An old guy like me that has been shooting with iron sights for 30 years, when I first switched to the red dot, I was like, the cat chasing a piece of yarn, trying to follow that ball all over the place. And it took me a while to get used to that. Now, in my experience, I have found people who never shot before shoot very well with a red dot as opposed to somebody that's been using iron sights for a long time. So just keep in mind that there is a learning curve, okay? Another thing to keep in mind is that if you didn't purchase your firearm yet that's optic ready or optic compatible, and you don't know whether you want to put an optic on it, when you order a holster, all your holsters should just be optic ready no matter what, because you never know if you're going to put an optic on it. And if you don't do that, you're not going to be able to use the firearm once you put an optic on it. If it's not optic cut, it won't work. So that's another thing to keep in mind. Now, the thing I do like about the red dot is it makes it extremely fast for target acquisition. You don't have to worry about, aligning the rear sights with the front sight and then the front sight on the target. And it's a lot of information for your brain to process. When you use a red dot, it's that simple. Wherever that dot is on your target, one straight focal point, pull the trigger, bang, that's where the round is going to go. And I got to tell you, once you practice using the red dot, you'll wonder how you shot without it. And if you could shoot very well with iron sights, you're going to shoot great with a red dot. And I like the fact that, you can change the brightness of the red dot, which makes it really nice for low lighting situations. You may be home in a dark bedroom, even though there's a light on in the living room and there's an intruder there, you can't see your sights because the room is pitch black. But with your red dot, you're going to have a very bright dot that you can see day or night. And I have older eyes, so for me, just pointing that dot down range and finding it on the target works really well, as opposed to using the iron sights. I can hardly see my front sight if I'm looking 50 feet down range. So that's another huge benefit of the red dot. Another thing is they've come down tremendously in price, and there's a lot of good quality, cheaper dots out there. Like, you don't need to spend a ton of money on a Hollow Sun or a Vortex. This is a Swamp Fox, and this was about $230. And this is a Siley, and this is also under $250. So it used to be, it was at the point where it was just not affordable to go out and put $1,000 red dot on a $500 gun. But now that they've dropped so much in price, it doesn't pay not to have one. I mean, it's not that much more money than to replace these night sights with True Glows anymore. So any gun I would buy now, I would think should be an optic ready. I don't see any reason any firearm for personal defense these days would be produced without it being optic ready. It just makes no sense. So those are the benefits. The cons are that an optic does run on a battery, and when the time comes, it may fail. So you really need to make sure that whatever red dot you choose, that you can co-witness it with your front sight. That being said, you get quicker target acquisition. It definitely makes you more accurate because you don't have to worry about, if your front and rear sight aren't lined up just exactly right. When you're using iron sights, you don't really know where the shot's going to go. On the red dot, all you're focusing is on the red dot. You don't care about the rear sight at all, and you just drop that dot on your target, pull the trigger, and good to go. So to answer that question now, my opinion is yes, if you're going to carry every day, you should have a red dot. It makes the gun a little bit bulkier. I do find sometimes this may hang up on clothing, and it kind of makes you sweat when it's up against your skin. But I think that the benefits that it provides make it more than worth the trouble. I'd like to know your opinion. If you run a red dot, do you plan on getting one? What are your thoughts on using a red dot on your everyday carry? Thanks for watching.